Hi everyone, welcome back to physics online classes for class 11 students. Let us continue chapter 2 units and measurement. So today I am going to continue introduction part regarding units and measurement. In the previous classes we studied the topics to be covered in this chapter. We already know that this topic carries 3 marks and this is a 4-hour chapter. In the previous class, we studied what is physical quantity and its two types. Quickly, we can revise once again what we studied in the previous class. What is physical quantity? It is a measurable quantity which can be expressed in terms of numerical value, that is called physical quantity. There are two types of physical quantity and they are fundamental quantity and derived quantity. So fundamental quantity, it is completely independent. It is not depending on any other quantity and it cannot be further simplified. Length, mass and time are the fundamental quantities. The second type is derived quantity. So derived quantity are completely depending on the fundamental quantity. Derived quantity are the measurable quantity, or this is a physical quantity which is expressed in terms of fundamental quantity. So that is derived quantity. Physical quantity and its types we studied in detail in the previous session. And in today's class, I am going to continue introduction part regarding units and measurement. So first we have to know what is unit. For example, if I am going to measure the weight of the person, we can say that the weight of the person is 50 kg. 50 kg. That kg is what? Unit of the weight. If I am going to measure the length, 10 meter. Meter is the unit of the length. If I am going to express time, I can say that now it completes 1 hour. So that is what we are going to express in terms of particular unit of the same kind. So then what is unit? You can observe the definition. The standard selected to measure a given physical quantity of the same kind. What it mean? That means to measure any physical quantity. You can measure any physical quantity, that may be work, power, energy, force, length, anything. When you are going to measure any physical quantity, the standard of the same quantity is essential. For example, if you are going to measure mass of the substance, mass of the substance we have to express in terms of kg or gram. We cannot express mass in terms of centimeter or meter. Is it clear? Suppose if you want to measure speed of the car, I can consider speed of the car is 10 meter per second. Speed of the car is how much? 10 meter per second. Now, I cannot express this in terms of kg. We can't say 10 kg is the speed. So, we need a standard selected. Means we need a standard unit of the same kind. So, the standard selected to measure a given physical quantity of the same kind is called unit. Or we can define to measure any physical quantity, the standard of the same quantity is essential and that standard is called unit. So here if I am going to write 10 meter per second. So 10 meter per second is speed of the car. Here 10 is a number. We are going to express speed in terms of number. So we can call it as a physical quantity. Then what is meter per second? Meter per second is unit. Then what is unit? Unit is the standard selected to measure any given physical quantity of the same kind. Here I cannot express speed in terms of kg. Is it clear? We should consider the physical quantity of the same kind. So this is called unit. Is what is the definition of the unit? The standard selected to measure any given physical quantity of the same kind is called unit. You can observe the given examples here. The first example is the mass of a body is 15 kg. It is given the mass of a body is how much? 15 kg. It means that The mass is 15 times kg. Is it clear? It means the mass is 15 times of kg, which is the unit of mass. Is it clear? Kg is the unit of mass. Here the mass of the body is 15 kg. 15 times kg. That kg is unit of mass. The standard selected to measure the physical quantity just like a mass of the same kind. Then come to the second example. Here it is given speed of the car is 10 meter per second. What it mean? It means that speed is 10 times meter per second. So meter per second is the unit of the speed. Suppose if I am going to consider I need a force of 20 Newton to move the object. How much force is needed? 20 Newton force is needed to move the object. What it mean? It means that force is 20 times Newton. So Newton is the unit of force. So what is unit? The standard selected to measure a given physical quantity of the same kind is called unit. Now you can observe some characteristics or conditions of a unit. What characteristics or what type of conditions that unit has to follow? I had given 6 characteristics of a unit here. You can observe one by one. The first characteristic or the condition is a unit must be well defined. A unit must be well defined. That means that unit should have its own definition. It should be properly defined. For example, mass is expressed in terms of kg. Mass equal to I can consider 1 kg. So kilogram. It is well defined here. It has its own definition. A unit must be well defined. Then come to the second point. A unit must be easily reproducible. A unit must be easily reproducible. Reproducible means, for example, here it is given mass equal to 1 kg. So 1 kg it can also be written as 1000 gram. It is what? Reproducible. Means easily we can convert the unit from one form to another form. Is it clear? Mass is expressed in terms of 1 kg, or instead of that I can write it as 1000 gram. Or I can consider length is equal to 100 centimeter. Length is equal to 100 centimeter, or we can write it as 1 meter. It is reproducible. We can easily convert one form to another form. Come to the third characteristic. A unit must be easily accessible. That means whatever the unit you are going to write for any physical quantity, that should be easily obtained or easily used. So it should be easily adopted or it should be easily obtained. Then we can call it as accessible. The third characteristic is a unit must be easily accessible. That means it is easily used. Kg, gram, these are easily used. So a unit must be easily accessible. Then fourth characteristic, a unit must be of proper size. It should have its own size. If I am going to consider 1 meter of the length. So 1 meter, it is well defined. This meter can be easily convertible. It is easily used by the people, and this meter is having its own size. So a unit must be of proper size. For example, if I am going to consider volume, so volume is length into breadth into height. Or we can express volume in terms of meter cube, meter into meter into meter. Because length, breadth and height we can express in terms of meter. The SI unit or the unit of volume is what? Meter cube. So meter cube is what? It is having its proper size. Right. Then come to the fifth characteristic or the condition. A unit must be accepted internationally. Internationally, that unit must be accepted. For example, In India, in our country, if we are using kg is the unit of the mass. Mass unit what we are going to use here kg. But in some other country, they may be used pound. 1 pound or 10 pound as the mass. Sometimes we can consider length is measured in terms of meter. In some other country, they may be used foot. Instead of meter, they may be considered foot. So that's why that unit must be accepted internationally. So in international level, for all the people, we should have the common unit. That's why we are going to use SI unit that we are going to study later in detail. Right? So a unit must be accepted internationally. Then come to the sixth point. A unit must not change with the time, place and conditions. It should not change with the time, place and conditions such as temperature and pressure. According to change in the physical conditions like a temperature, pressure, or you can consider time and position, a unit must not change. For example, again we can consider mass equal to 1 kg. 1 kg that should remain constant. It should not change its value. So that kg should remain same. So whatever may be the temperature or the pressure or whatever may be the position, whether we kept that object in the higher position or you can kept at the top of the building, but its value should not change. That kg should remain in terms of kg. So a unit must not change with the time, place and conditions such as temperature and pressure. So these are the conditions or the characteristics of a unit. Is it clear? What are the conditions of unit? A unit must be well defined. Second point, a unit must be easily reproducible. Third point, a unit must be easily accessible. Accessible means easily we can use or obtain. And fourth one, a unit must be of a proper size. It should have its own size. Then fifth point, a unit must be accepted internationally. In international level, so we should accept that unit. Then sixth point, a unit must not change with the time, place and physical conditions like temperature and pressure. So these are the some conditions or we can call it as the characteristics of a unit. So now this unit is again divided into two types just like a physical quantity. What are the two types of physical quantity? Fundamental quantity and derived quantity. Likewise, unit is also divided into two types and again they are fundamental units and derived units. Fundamental or we can call it as base units and the second one is derived unit. Can you remember what is fundamental quantity? Fundamental quantities are the physical quantities which are independent. They cannot be further simplified. Fundamental quantities means we can consider length, mass and time. Then derived quantity. You can remember derived quantity which is expressed in terms of fundamental quantity, which are derived or which are going to extract from the fundamental quantity. Likewise, there are two types of unit and they are fundamental units and derived units. So now what is fundamental unit or what is base unit? The units of fundamental physical quantities are called fundamental units. Very easy. The fundamental physical quantities units are called fundamental unit. Which are the three fundamental quantities? Length, mass and time. We consider length, mass and time are the examples for fundamental physical quantity. What is the unit of the length? Meter. What is the unit of the mass? Kg. What is the unit of time? Second. Length is measured in terms of meter, mass is measured in terms of kg, time is measured in terms of second. So these units are called fundamental unit. What are fundamental units? The units of fundamental physical quantities. They are called fundamental units. I had given examples here. kg for mass, meter for length, and second for time. These are the fundamental units. Similarly, the second type is derived units. So what are derived units? The units of derived physical quantity. The units of derived physical quantities are called derived units. We studied nearly 22 examples for derived quantity. For example, speed, velocity, acceleration, force, work, energy, power, surface tension. There are so many examples I had given in the previous class that you can remember here. All the units of derived physical quantities are the derived unit. Here some examples are given. Meter per second is the unit of speed. Kg per meter cube is unit of density. Meter per second square is the unit of acceleration. Newton is the unit of force. Joule is the unit of work. So, the unit of all the derived physical quantities are called derived units. What is unit? What are the two types of unit? And their examples we studied. Now come to the second point, measurement. What is the heading of the chapter? Units and measurement. Now we understood what is unit. Now we have to understand what is measurement. So before going to understand the definition of measurement, I will give you one example. Let us imagine you went to market and you are going to purchase 1 kg of potato. How many potatoes you can get for 1 kg? We don't know the exactly number of potatoes because if the potatoes are small in size, we will get more number of potato. If the size of the potato is larger, we may get less number of potato. Anyhow, they are going to compare number of potatoes with that weighing stone. They are going to consider one physical balance or weighing balance. On one pan, they are going to keep potatoes. On another pan, they are going to keep 1 kg weighing stone. They are going to compare this unknown physical quantity with the known fixed quantity. 1 kg weighing that stone, it is having its fixed quantity, fixed unit quantity, 1 kg. I am going to purchase 1 kg of potatoes, so they are going to compare. So when they get balance, so they will give you 1 kg of potato. What they are doing here? They are just comparing your potatoes with that weighing stone. So that is what measurement. Now you can observe the definition. The comparison of an unknown physical quantity with a known fixed unit quantity is called measurement. That comparison is itself measurement. How they are going to compare? The comparison of an unknown physical quantity with a known fixed unit quantity is called measurement. Right? Now you can go for another point, numerical value. Numerical value that denotes the magnitude of a physical quantity in terms of selected unit. That means we know that numerical value is number. I am going to purchase 1 kg of potato. 1 kg. This 1 is what? Magnitude of this physical quantity. Is it clear? The number 1. 1 is a number. This is the magnitude. Magnitude of physical quantity in terms of selected unit. Which unit we selected here? Kg. When we selected this kg as the unit, this 1 is the magnitude, kg is the unit. So, numerical value is the number, the numerical value that denotes magnitude of a physical quantity in terms of selected unit. Simply you can understand numerical value is just a number. I am going to purchase 50 gram of sugar. 50 is numerical value, gram is unit. Now we can consider weight of the person, 50 kg. 50 is a numerical value, kg is the unit. You can see this example. Speed of the car is 60 kilometer per hour. This is what? Kilometer per hour. Or we can say that or kmph. kmph means what? Kilometer per hour. What is the speed of the car? Speed of a car is 60 kilometer per hour. Here, what is the speed? Speed is a physical quantity. What is physical quantity? The quantity which can be expressed in terms of number. We expressed in terms of number, that is 60. 60 is a numerical value. Kilometer per hour is the unit. Is it clear? Speed is physical quantity. This is what? Physical quantity. 60 is numerical value and this kilometer per hour is the unit. Go for second example. Acceleration due to gravity is how much? We know that 9.8 meter per second square. Acceleration due to gravity, this is a physical quantity. 9.8 is a numerical value. Meter per second square is the unit. Is it clear? Third example, I can consider force exerted on the object. Let us take it as 50 Newton. Here force is a physical quantity, 50 is a numerical value and N means Newton. Newton is the unit. So in this way we have to express physical quantity, units and its numerical value. Numerical value is what? Magnitude. Is it clear? So this is all about units and measurement. Yes, now tell me what is unit? Unit is to measure any physical quantity. The standard of the same quantity is essential and that standard is called unit. Unit is again divided into two types and they are fundamental unit and derived unit. Fundamental unit is the unit of physical quantity. Derived unit is the unit of derived quantity. Then what is measurement? Measurement is just the comparison between unknown and known value. That is measurement. So these are the some examples regarding measurement and its numerical value. So this is all about introduction regarding the chapter units and measurement. So in the next session, I am going to start the second point of this chapter, that is the system of unit. Thank you.